What's going on, guys? Adam again, back with Atomic Garage, and today, guys, as you see, the car is completely masked off and you're wondering why. Today we're going to figure out if this $85 airless paint sprayer can actually paint an entire car. Coming up in this video. So yes, guys, as the intro stated, this $85 Tack Life airless paint sprayer is what we're going to use to try and paint the car. And me and my son Sakai, we took one day, guys, one single day, and completely sanded down the entire car with 400 grit. It is nice and baby smooth. There is no shiny surfaces. I came in this morning and I masked everything off, and now we are ready to see the big payoff. We are going to try and paint this car again. Now, last time I painted this car with Sherwin-Williams like universal enamel. This time we're going straight with Rustoleum, and I'm gonna show you guys the color that we're using. But first, we need to do a couple small things, clean up the shop, and get everything set up to start painting this car. So guys, here is everything that we're going to be using, and the color that I'm gonna be going with is flat black from Rustoleum. So I've had good progress and results from using these enamel based paints, so that should work out. So we have our store and pour, which helps with reducing mess and spills. I've got my catalyst hardener that I bought from Tractor Supply for like 17 bucks. Grease and wax remover to clean the surface before getting ready to paint, mixing cups, mixing sticks, the actual attachment to the airless paint sprayer. We've got our strainers, which is one of the best buys. You don't realize how many strainers you go through. I've got my cups turned upside down so nothing drop inside of them. I also have some Japan dryer, which helps speed up the drying process. And I didn't realize I actually had this much acetone, but this is everything that we're going to be using to reduce this paint to be able to shoot it out of this gun. And we're going to be using a 4-3-1, 4 parts paint, 3 parts reducer. In this case, I'll be using acetone and 1 part catalyst hardener. And I may put maybe a cap full of Japan dryer in there as well. It a little bit goes a long way, so I may use that as well. So the next thing that's set for me to do, I've already kind of partially masked off the car just a little bit, reduced some kind of overspray. The paint is terrible, so I just didn't want overspray everywhere. Next thing for me to do is fire up this compressor, blow off the car completely, then wipe it down, let it dry, and then we'll be ready to mix and spray paint on the BMW. Just finished getting the car prepped as far as the wheels, and that is by far the most annoying part of taping off a car, is doing the wheels. I believe they've got like wheel covers that just go over it. I swear I'm just gonna buy those the next time I paint a car, because that is truly annoying. And downside of the big tires, on the opposite side I barely can get it in, but it's covered. It should be good to go, but God, that is annoying. So now we're going to wipe it completely down, go inside, mix paint, spray paint. Let's go. Alright guys, so now is the time to go ahead and start mixing this paint. Going to use, again, like I said earlier, 4-3-1. That's how we're going to do this. So we're going to first start off by cracking open the lid. And before I bought the paint, I had them went on ahead and mix the paint for me. Kind of shake it up really good and kind of, get things going. So this paint has been freshly shaken up, so I feel like we're good to go with that. This just pops on top. And you got your little vent right here. And then you could pour it in through here. Let me get my catch rag in place. So we're gonna be, let's see here. We're gonna be using this one right here. This hardener, I like this stuff. It seems to make the paint more durable. And a little bit of Japan dry. One capful. And Lowe's got these smaller like tongue holders, paint mixers, so this works as well as long as also the tall ones. So we're gonna go ahead, take a couple minutes, and we're gonna mix this up really good. Everything is hooked up and ready to go. Now it's time to see if it's actually gonna work. It lays paint really fast, but it's on there. Very runny, but it's on there. So let's mix another cup. It's painted. So the car is still wet in certain places, but I feel like it looks really good. Again, there's some spots that look less pretty than other spots, but more or less, it's not bad. It's not terrible. When that full matte finish gets on across the entire car, then we'll see how good or bad it actually looks. But I wanted to go ahead and take everything off the windows so that way I didn't have to fight it later. So we are going to check back in on the car in one day to see how this whole thing dries up. Hopefully it looks good, but there is a pretty bad spot. Yeah, oof, that's pretty bad. So guys, how does it look 24 hours later? Let's take a look and see. Well guys, there you have it. A paint job done completely with an airless paint sprayer off of Amazon for $84. Now, the car did not turn out terrible, but it came out worse than I painted it before. Now, let me tell you exactly what I had going on. So, the last time I painted the car, it was extremely stressful. And I could not for the life of me get enough coating, enough paint on the car because the compressor was constantly giving me issues. If you haven't seen that video, check it out right here. A card should show up so you can look at it after this video. But this time I mentally said to myself, I want to make sure I get enough paint on the car. And as a result of it, I've got a couple runs in a couple different spots here in the back and stuff like that. Now, again, guys, one thing I talk about on this channel a lot is managing expectations. I did not expect an amazing paint job, but the car, guys, the car looks amazing with the flat black on white. I love this look even more than the last look, guys. I truly do. So I see here what I need to do is go ahead and wet sand, but we're going in a territory that I know nothing about. How should I wet sand this car and different things like that? I'm not sure. But the actual paint process didn't go bad. When I had it on the wide nozzle setting, it was throwing overspray a lot of different places. You probably saw it in the video. But when I switched it to the more narrow approach, it was able to minimize overspray and that extra spatter, but as the result of laying even more paint. And the smallest nozzles that I had for this paint gun is a 2.0, which is bigger than like usually the 1.8 that is used on an actual compressor driven spray gun. But overall, guys, I love the way the car looks. I've got enough paint everywhere on the rocker panels. I don't see any spots where that Victory Gold peeks through. So I feel really good about that. So in the next couple videos, maybe down the road, or I may not even make a video, I am going to have to wet sand this car and get all of this orange peel and all of this stuff off of the car, get a smoother surface, get some of these runs out. That's the main thing, getting some of these runs out of the car. But man, this car truly, oh man, it looks menacing. It looks awesome. It's the rally look that I want. And this look is going to definitely help me with the next phases for the car. But I'm not going to tell you what that is. You'll have to figure out when I drop that video. So guys, the big question of can you paint a car with an airless paint sprayer? Yes and no. Yes, you can paint it because as you see behind me, I was able to lay several coats of paint on this car. Absolutely. But at the same time, do you want to? Because you're going to get orange peel. And I got more orange peel on this car than I did with my tiny air compressor that was fighting to give enough pressure to paint this car before. But it can definitely be done. And there's probably things that I could do to help make this paint from that airless paint system look even better than it does now. So yes, you can, but I wouldn't necessarily advise it. Now, I would definitely use this airless paint sprayer system for doing smaller projects, things that you don't really care about. If you got a trailer in your yard and you want to paint that would make mincemeat out of it. I mean, you can flow paint, you can run paint through it as fast as you want to. So you can paint a car with a airless paint sprayer. You could definitely do it, but will you want to do it? It all depends on your expectations and what you are looking to get. If you don't care how it looks, if you just want to run and gun, shoot it, and it's done in 30 minutes, 100%. And I believe I could still make this paint look better than it does if I had to do it all over again. But who knows? Maybe the next time this car is painted, we may go back to the air compressor and see how good we can make it. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.